Hello Internet, welcome back to Trumps and Twilight. This is the channel where I, Vincent, talk to you, the digital abyss, about books, movies, music that I find interesting, that I enjoy, or a combination of the two. I've been talking a lot about books recently, and today I decided that I would do a short video about a film that I saw recently at the cinema. This film, Flow, is an animated film with a cast of animals. It was originally released in 2024. It's a collaboration between Latvia, France, and Belgium. And the person who made this film primarily is called Gints Zilbalodis. I say he made it primarily because he animated it, edited it, directed it. He also produced it. He wrote it together with two other men, Matis Kazar and Don Dians, and he composed the score together with somebody else called Richard Salupe. The whole film was apparently created on free open source animation software over the course of about 5 years. The original title is Stroma. I'm going to try not to spoil the film too much, but I am going to talk about what happens in it. And I really just want to talk about my own reaction to it and my thoughts about the themes and the content of the film. First off, when it began, I initially was not 100% on board with the animation, which is this kind of digital Pixar esque animation, but it's open source, so it's like slightly simpler, it's slightly smoother. However, this style kind of becomes invisible very quickly, and it's almost as if you forget that you're watching an animation at a certain point, because particularly the movements of the animals in this film and their facial expressions are just so expressive. There's loads of use of water that's really striking in different ways throughout the film. The basic story is that a cat is out in the forest, meets some dogs, runs away, then sees a stampede, and this stampede is because water is rising. And the cat returns back to its house. One of the dogs that it met, who seems to be the only one that maybe was a pet dog, follows the cat to the house, and the house seems to be abandoned. It was obviously inhabited by an artist who really loved this cat, made statues of the cat, drew the cat, but the artist has maybe evacuated and maybe has not been able to find the cat, or perhaps the cat returned to the house. The water doesn't stop rising. The dog leaves in a boat with some other dogs, and just as the water seems to be rising to a point where the cat will not survive, a new boat comes, and the cat is essentially rescued by a capybara who is in this boat. The two of them create a kind of dynamic between them where they give each other space. The cat, like cats often are, is a bit skeptical, a bit nervy, a little bit standoffish. And the capybara is just a very relaxed individual. Through the course of the film, they meet other animals, a large white bird, which on Wikipedia it says it's a secretary bird, but I don't know what a secretary bird is, at least a large white bird, and a lemur who collects things. So this cat, dog, bird, capybara, and lemur go on a kind of adventure, sort of, but it's not as if they have like a quest beyond survival. They can see some large kind of buildings or pillars in the distance that they're traveling towards, but it's really the flow of the water that is moving them along. As I say, the film initially, its visual style was kind of not immediately appealing to me, but very quickly I came to be deeply moved by this film. Every time the cat is in peril, it's horrible. You just love this cat. And the cat has this combination of sort of feline wiles and creativity and a degree of selfishness, but it also has emotions, relational needs, and has this sort of innocence about it. So you kind of see in this world through the eyes of this cat that's constantly surprised or confused or in wonder. And the cat just keeps falling in the water. And even though it happens again and again and again, every damn time this cat is in the water, it's just nerve wracking. The whole film really is extremely tense. There's a lot of peril. You never know what's going to happen. I could not have predicted really anything that happened in the film. So there's that, but there's also this film is really about loss, the loss of the cat's world, the loss of our world, the rising tides, extinction, the death of animals. It's also about community, about different creatures, different individuals with different characteristics and different needs, finding a sort of alliance or a degree of community. And it's partly about how fragile this is, but also in a way how robust it is. I don't want to put too many spoilers in, but there's a point in the film where this kind of fragile community is sort of fractured or unbalanced, and it's, in my opinion, so painful. The way these animals move in the film is just brilliant. Like the dog is such a dog, and the cat is such a cat, and the lemur is kind of this metaphor for humans who won't let go of their trinkets, won't let go of their material possessions in the world, and would almost prioritize this over survival. And the way these animals move is both kind of a representation of their species, but also they're so expressive and they have so much personality. I've talked before on this channel about how I really love stories about non-verbal characters. And one of the things this film does incredibly well is you always know what the animals are trying to communicate to each other, even though they might not understand each other all the time. You can see very clearly what they are attempting to express, or what they desire, or what they want to communicate, or the different types of pressure that they're putting on each other. There's something about a film like this where it has this childlike quality, this childlike naivety, the innocence of animals, but also the brutality of nature, that is so emotionally wrenching that it kind of ruined my day. I was very sad and kind of in emotional pain for the rest of the day after I saw the film, to a degree that I wasn't really sure whether I liked it. And I almost felt like I do about Lars von Trier, which is that Lars von Trier's films are so manipulative in their use of like innocence and pain and destruction and music and imagery. He sets out almost pornographically to play with your visceral reactions, and this film really does that to an extent that I wasn't sure if I liked it. But as with Lars von Trier, once I've got over the initial impact, I ended up feeling great affection for the film, which I do with most of his work also, even though when I'm watching it I always feel slightly abused. It's kind of how I felt about this film, and I thought, would a child feel the same way seeing this film? Because there were children in the showing that I went to. Or is a child maybe more robust? Because the last thought I had about this film, which was maybe something obscene that made it difficult to deal with, was this is a film, about the rising water levels. It's a film about the end of the world. And I was sitting there thinking, the world is ending. And we are sitting here watching a beautiful, beautiful representation of the world ending. A quick addendum about the music. The music is great, and this film, in a way, is almost like a musical composition. It's kind of a mood piece that rises and falls in the same way that the water does. And I want to listen to it without the imagery to see if it stands up, but I think it will. I was thinking all the way through the film, like very often I get irritated when I'm watching movies by them dropping some piano music in or something to try to manipulate you, like or underscore the emotions. But this really seemed like it was part of a whole, like the music and the imagery and the sound design all kind of wove together in a very evocative fashion. So, have you seen this movie? What did you make of it? What did you think of my ideas? Did you see other themes? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? As always, hop in the comments and let me know. I love to hear from people who see my videos. I'm going to be watching another couple of movies this weekend, so hopefully I'll be back with more material about film in the near future. Maybe I'll see you for that. If I don't see you, take care.